Time for the Mesonet Weather Report. I'm Wes Lee. There continues to be a distinct separation between those in the east with adequate moisture and those in the west experiencing drought conditions. This divide between east and west is clear on this map, showing how long it has been since receiving at least a quarter inch of rain. The reds in the west show it has been 2 to 3 months for most Mesonet sites. In the Panhandle, the lack of rainfall is most evident, including a whopping 4.5 months at the Kenton site. Very little rainfall fell in the past week, fractions of an inch in the east and none as become customary in the west. As expected, the corresponding soil moisture levels indicate the separation of have and have-nots as well. In this 16-inch percent plant available water map, you see green near 100% in the east and some very low red numbers in the west. The chances of rainfall next week look either normal in the gray or slightly above normal in the light green areas. But don't get too excited about this. The average rainfall for January, probably the driest month of the year, is usually very small. Shown here is the January 15-year average total rainfall, showing just how dry normal is in the west. Now here's Gary with the newest and latest drought map.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, as Wes showed you, we are continuing to go way too long without beneficial moisture across much of the state, especially western Oklahoma. Let's take a look at the latest drought monitor map and see where we're at. Well, we're nowhere good, unfortunately. We now have 88% of the state in at least moderate drought and 41% in extreme drought. So definitely those reds and browns and tans have increased dramatically. We do see that in the latest change map for the last 2 months, and that's really indicative of what we've seen during that record warmth of November, December, especially December, which ended up being the warmest December on record. We do see the changes of 2 to 3 classes over the last 8 weeks, especially across parts of northwest Oklahoma and down in south central Oklahoma. So rapid drought development for the cool season. Normally we would see this during the summer, but with the record warmth, it's happening in the winter as well. One of our big changes from last year is our snowfall, even through this mid part of January. This year we can see basically we've had about a trace to less than 1/10 of an inch across parts of the state. So not much at all, and that's really indicative of what's happened across the southern tier of the United States as well. Now compare that to last year at this time, where much of the northwestern quarter of the state had seen more than 1 foot, and in some cases more than 2 feet of snow. And just about everybody had seen several inches. Maybe down in the southeast they were still lacking, but they certainly filled in later on in our February deep freeze event. So we've had a lack of winter precipitation this year, maybe a little bit more winter temperatures, and it looks like we have a possible pattern change on the way for later in the next week, with cold air spilling down into the eastern half of the United States, including parts of Oklahoma, according to this 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. I don't think we necessarily need the pattern change in temperature, we need it in precipitation. We definitely need rainfall or snowfall, and we need a lot of it. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.